Good morning, YouTube. I promised there'd be another video, and I am fixing to make one right now. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own dusting powder from items that you most likely have in your kitchen. If you do not have them at the moment, they are easily accessible at your nearest grocery store. I have already measured out 1 cup of all-purpose flour. See, all-purpose. Now, the all-purpose you definitely do need because the self-rising flour has got baking soda, cornstarch, and salt already pre-measured in it. All-purpose flour is great for your baking needs, but you really don't want to put salt on your plants if you can avoid it at all costs, because they just don't like salt very well. Next, you're going to add onion powder. You are going to need, watch me measure out here, you're going to need a tablespoon of onion powder. I know I'm using a teaspoon right now to measure this out because some of the smaller jars I have here, the tablespoon just is not going to fit in the jar. And I'm a big girl now, so I know how to count to 3. For those of you who do not bake or cook from scratch, 1 tablespoon or 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. Just for your information, because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to cook from scratch. That's okay. Now, onion powder has got many properties for health benefits for our bodies, as well as it repels a lot of various insects, as well as other critters like squirrels and other kind of mammals that like to partake in our vegetable garden. Next, we're going to add a tablespoon of garlic powder. Now, if you have old garlic powder that is starting to cake because it's been in your kitchen for so long, just break that stuff up, because that's good enough to use for your gardening needs. You do not have to get fresh bottles of everything. You can use some of the older stuff that you have in your kitchen just because, it got hid behind something or you've had other things to deal with. Now, onion and garlic powder both have antibacterial properties, and they also help to repel certain kinds of molds that likes to grow on your plants. Okay, next we're going to put in some chili powder. Now this is where we get into repelling certain soft body insects because of the different chemicals that are in certain types of pepper plants. Oh, by the way, that was a tablespoon of that as well. And last but not least, the best thing you can ever use to get rid of aphids. Now, we're going to use a teaspoon and a half of cayenne, because it is very, very potent. Now, if you are having a really hard time with aphids on your vegetable plants or on your flowers, you can add more. Okay, then we just mix all this up. You can see there's some cake of the garlic in there, but I'm not too worried about it. Just mix this all up. You can use it as needed. So you can make up a good sized batch of it just to have it on hand. See that? Now you can spread this on your plants. You can use like I said, you use this just like you would have used 7 Dust. And the dried up peppers, it will kill some of the softer bodied insects. It's just amazing stuff. I've used this for years. I have not ever had any problems with it. Although I will say, with those of you with sensitive skin, you might want to consider wearing surgical gloves when you, instead of using with your hands, because the cayenne pepper, some people are very susceptible to the chemical in the cayenne that makes it hot. If you do happen to get any on your skin and you forget to wash your hands, you can just wash your hands with milk. You know, like you just cow's milk, goat milk, whatever you have. Real milk, not that artificial lactose intolerant stuff. It has to be real milk. Just put a little bit of detergent on your hands, or hand soap, whatever you use, and use milk to wet the soap and wash your hands off with the milk, and then rinse it off as usual. The milk counteracts the chemicals in the peppers that we used. Now, if you are having problems with caterpillars and cutworms, you can add to this mix 1 cup of sifted wood ash. You want it sifted to make sure you don't have a lot of the larger chunks of the carbon wood or anything in it. It won't hurt the plants or anything like that, but it's just easier if you use one of those dusting machines. Make sure everything is nice and fine. And that's it pretty much. Simple, easy. It stores for a long time. If you have different varmints that like to get into your flower beds and stuff, you can always sprinkle the garlic powder as well as black pepper. That also has good uses of keeping things out of your yard for a while, at least until it rains and washes everything away. Then, you know, it's pretty inexpensive to go out and put it down again if you start having other problems. Now, this powder, excuse me, is best used in the morning while the leaves of your plant are still wet from the dew, or just after you have watered your garden. That's the best time to dust it. It will stick to the leaves. As it gets closer to time of harvest, you might not want to do your leafy vegetables so much, because the flour does cake and it sticks to the leaves. It does come off, but you kind of have to just let your leaves soak in water for a few minutes to help loosen it up. But it all does come off rather easily. And this is 100% effective. And it is 100% non-toxic, as well as everything is a renewable source, which means you can grow your own plants and dehydrate them and grind them up yourselves if you wish to. So, that's the basics of making a powder. Yay. And I will see you again next time. Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Like and subscribe. Thank you.